Welcome to 3 Minutes with Mike. It's a part of the teaching ministry of Chester First Baptist Church, where you get your weekly download of the prophetic lowdown. I'm Dr. Mike Fogerson. I'm the pastor of CFBC, been there since 2000, and I'm your host for 3 Minutes with Mike. Thanks for joining us, and let's dig right in. We're told that there are multiple vaccines for COVID-19 that are on their way, and it's really just a matter of time before they start being distributed. In fact, the vaccine will likely be available to some of you in our parts within the next 15 days. Now, there are millions of people that'll rush out and get injected, but of course, there's going to be millions of others that never intend to get vaccinated under any circumstances. Interestingly enough, I did an informal survey at Chester First Baptist last Sunday, and anecdotally speaking, less than 1 out of 10 worshipers who attended in-person services last weekend at Chester First Baptist Church said that they will not be taking the vaccine when it's offered initially. If you want the raw data on that, 6 out of 100 people said that they'll get the vaccine as quick as possible. And those who decide against getting vaccinated could soon find themselves being unable to travel internationally, unable to attend large social gatherings, sporting events, unable to attend graduations, cultural and community events, unable to go to shopping malls, hotels, and restaurants. We live in a country where our Constitution is set up so as our American government cannot force us to get a vaccine. But it's not illegal or a violation of our civil rights, according to the powers that be, to be motivated to take the 2 flu shot vaccine. For example, in Israel, they're about to start vaccinating their population with a vaccine from the British-owned AstraZeneca. And once you've received the shots, your name is entered into a national registry in Israel, and for them, the world will open back up for them. They'll be allowed to go into the green zones, if you will. If you're vaccinated in Israel, you can go to restaurants, museums, theaters, cultural sites, concerts, sporting events, international travel, shops open back up to you. All the things that you've been missing going to this year will be opened up to you in Israel once your name is on the national registry as being vaccinated. Mike Cernovich is an American social media personality, and he is also a part of what's called the New Right movement. He wrote this about how our government might motivate vaccine compliance when he penned these words, and I quote, "Government won't force you to take the vaccine. Amazon will, airlines will, banks will. You won't be able to buy, sell, or trade without the vaccine." Now, to me, that's quite an interesting word choice, and we're going to unlock that sentence in just a moment. But can you imagine just for a second not being able to get on a plane, go to a bank, go to work, attend school, sporting events, concerts, social gatherings, eat at a restaurant, if you don't have proof of a COVID-19 vaccination? Perhaps you'll carry your vaccination proof on an app, maybe on a digital passport on your device. You show the person at the gate and the proof is there, and then poof, the gate opens for you. Your life will start looking a whole lot like it was before things went south back last March, back before COVID-19. Thank you, vaccine. Remember how I said we'd come back to Cernovich's words, "You won't be able to buy, sell, or trade without the vaccine" comment? Well, what I find most interesting about those comments is that some of the wording was lifted directly out of the passage in the book of Revelation, chapter 13, talking about the mark of the beast. Revelation 13:17 says, "No one could buy or sell without this mark, which is the name of the beast or the number of its name." Now, what we could be about to see is what it looks like when governments motivate citizens to choose to do something they don't really want to do, like maybe get a vaccine that hasn't been tested a whole bunch. This is what it could look like. It's going to be the choice between taking the vaccine and the booster or stay under quarantine. It's going to look like getting the vaccine and the booster or continue to abide by COVID-19 restrictions, masks, social distancing, and the like. The choice will be yours. You might be saying, "Well, that'll never happen, preach." But the International Air Transport Association said last Monday that there is a digital passport app, and it was in the final developmental phase. The app could tell airlines if international travelers had in fact been vaccinated against COVID-19. And this app would help, and I quote, get people traveling safe again. That was the International Air Transport Association's Nick Careen. That's what he said. He says by giving governments confidence that systematic COVID-19 testing can work as a replacement for quarantine requirements, end quote. The technology that will be used by the Antichrist government to track, record, monitor, and to spy on everyone, y'all, it's already operational. And if the COVID crisis isn't the antecedent that will cause the citizens of the world to forsake freedom for slavery, liberty for safety, then I believe that what we've experienced since March of 2020 is what I would call the final dress rehearsal before Satan's opening night of the Great Tribulation. I hope you found this edition of 3 Minutes with Mike to be informative. You're invited right back here every Wednesday evening at 6:30 p.m. for a brand new edition of 3 Minutes with Mike. And remember, this program is a part of the teaching ministry of Chester First Baptist Church. I also hope that you would consider supporting the ministry of CFBC with your prayers and also with your online financial giving. Our online giving can be found there at chesterfbc.org. I want you to please consider joining us for in-person worship. We have a live band, dynamic preaching. The service lasts less than 45 minutes. Plenty of room for social distancing. We take all the restrictions and guidelines seriously. So we invite you to come out. We offer 2 services each weekend: a Saturday night at 5:30 and a Sunday morning at 10:30. We'd love to have you be our guest. Heck, we're even expecting you. We're at the church that's right next to the Chester Public Library, and you'll discover that we're a group of people who are just as messed up as you are. Chester First Baptist Church is not a museum for the saints. It is a hospital for the sinner. And we encourage you to come and join us as we love God and love people, and we're doing our level best to try to live like Jesus. God bless you.